Your bags are packed, you got your flight details, but you're still a little fuzzy on the whole process of going from the airport to the hotel, and then from the hotel to when you first sign on the ship. And all that in between stuff. Meal vouchers, how to do your reimbursements, but most importantly, what happens if my luggage gets lost? Let's go! So I've searched around and I've seen a lot of others making videos about working on a cruise ship, and they all seem to go from what to pack and then skip all the way to what it's like on board. So I thought I'd do something a little different here and give you that in-between stage from when you leave your house to when you first sign on board. Now, instead of you having to sit through a whole 20-minute block of this, I decided to break it up into 3 separate videos. In this first one, I'm going to be talking about the documents that you're going to need, dealing with the airports as well as the whole luggage situation. In the second video, I'm going to be talking about how to get from the airport to the hotel, getting your meal vouchers, and also how to do your reimbursements. And finally, in the third video, I'm going to be going over how to get from the hotel to the ship, dealing with customs, meeting with personnel, and signing on to the ship for the first time. Now, if you haven't checked out some of my other videos, I have them right here in a playlist entitled Cruise Ship Crew, where I go over what the crew mess is like, what the cabins are like, and even how and what to pack for your first contract. Now, if you're new here, consider subscribing, because I'm always thinking of new ways to kind of fill in those gaps of what other channels might be missing with this same content. Okay, so the most crucial thing we need to discuss right away are the 3 documents that you must not leave without: your passport, your medical, and your letter for crew. Now, if you forget your letter for crew, it can be a bit of a hassle, but things can still get worked out. However, if you forget your medical or your passport, I don't care if you're the new cruise director signing on, you're not getting on that ship. I've actually been waiting in line with other crew members who forgot their medical and were denied access to the ship, and I have no idea what happened to them. I never seen them again. What you're going to want to do while you're traveling is to keep it in a secure location, preferably in a bag that goes underneath your seat, not the one that goes in the overhead. A lot of times on these smaller connecting flights, the overhead doesn't have as much room in it, so they'll take the bag from you, and they say you'll be able to get the bag immediately when you deboard in the following city. But what ends up happening a lot of times is they'll either forget or they'll just neglect to put that underneath, and then your bags don't actually travel with you. Definitely be sure to check out my What to Pack video, where I explain all the different benefits about checking all of your bags except for a backpack, which makes life a hell of a lot easier while you're traveling through the airports. When you're roaming around the airports with just a backpack on, it just gives you so much more freedom. The biggest advantage is just not having to deal with extra luggage in the bathroom stalls. You'll also be more encouraged to go grab a coffee, stroll around the concourses for a little while, do a little exercising, because it's going to be about 6 or 7 hours until your next flight. It also makes traveling with one of these a lot more enjoyable. Speaking of checked bags, one thing that people seem to overlook is by incorrectly filling out one of these when traveling for work. Now, I think it's safe to say that we're all familiar with luggage tags when we're going on vacation for a couple of days or a week, but when you're traveling for work, it's a little bit different on how you actually fill these out. See, if your bag actually ends up missing, when the airline finally locates it, they're going to send it to whatever address you put on here, and most likely you've put your home address. The problem is you're going to be on the ship for a few months, so you don't need your bags going back home, you need them to come to you. The cruise line is going to provide you with 2 addresses. If they don't, make sure you request both of them. The first one's going to be for mom and dad to send you some treats or a care package or something like that. The second one is the one where the ship actually docks. That's the one you're going to need. Alright, so there's going to be 4 main elements to this: the name of the ship, your name, your position, and the address of the dockyard. Here's exactly what you're going to want to write on your luggage tags. Let's say you get a job working for Norwegian Cruise Line. You're going on the breakaway, your name is Jane Doe, you're a youth counselor, and you're leaving out of New York City. You'll write exactly this on your luggage tags: Norwegian breakaway, Jane Doe, youth counselor, Intercruises Shoreside and Port Services, 676A 9th Avenue, Suite 238, New York, New York, 10036. Now this next part is extremely important. If you get off your flight, you go down to baggage claim, you wait for it, your baggage doesn't show up. Go over to a representative, make sure that everything has come through for flight, fill in the blank, whatever your flight number is. If it has, do not leave the airport. Let me repeat that. Do not leave the airport. Go immediately over to the counter and fill out a luggage claim form. Now remember, don't put your home address. Everything that you put on your luggage tag, everything regarding to the cruise line and where it's docking, that's the information that you're going to want to put on this form as well. Also, reiterate to them about a dozen times that you're a crew member. They'll make a special note of it. A lot of these airlines do a lot of business with these cruise lines. Once you've done all that, now you're free to leave the airport. Okay, so in the next video in this series, you can click on it right here. It's going to be dealing with getting from the airport to the hotel and getting your meal vouchers, as well as how your reimbursements work. Also, consider subscribing. This way you can be immediately notified when I upload new videos.